This podcast is powered by The Plug, The Connect, Graffiti, Delroy Gill.
We made it.
We made it.
We're here.
We here, man. How you doing, brother?
I'm good.
Good. So I always ask that how you doing question, but like that's a loaded question these days. You're like,
Yeah.
So you good?
I'm good.
All right.
I got a lot going on. The stress level is probably a medium, which is a good place for me to be in. But it's about to turn out because I just got back from a 2-day retreat with my business partner.
Okay.
We were just game planning, kind of setting out our new 5-year roadmap for our business. So
Yeah.
that had a lot of takeaways to implement when
Word.
we get back, and I just got back yesterday. So
Word.
the list is long.
Where'd you go?
We stayed at the Broadmoor Hotel
Okay.
down there in Colorado Springs.
Nice.
It was nice weather.
Oh, so in state, you didn't?
Yeah. Because it was a sporadic kind of like, we got this development coach, and it was like he was coaching us separately, and basically getting both of our strengths, and it's called drainers and drivers.
Right.
Basically, what you love doing, what you don't like doing, for both of us. And then he put us together, and then we looked on the paper of where our skill sets are best to be
Right.
in our business, and divide it out. So now we have like departments within our business.
Right. That's important. You said drainers and drivers.
Mm-hmm.
That's something important. I'll
Yeah.
write that one down.
Yeah, it gets shocking when you start writing it on paper.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah.
All right, man. Before we go too far, there's somebody listening or watching right now. Like, man, who is this guy in the money green suit? You know what I mean? So who is Delroy Gill?
Oh man, who am I? You know, a guy who's been through a lot, done a lot, had many of losses, a few wins along the way, and probably a person that I'd like people to define who they think I am more than me putting out there these. Like, I used to think about that stuff, like, you know, what do I want people to be known for, or, you know, who am I? Or like, I know myself internally, but sometimes that can be different for you. Like, who you think I am may be different from me,
Right.
based on the amount, you know, that we see each other and what we do. But you know, I want everyone to take from me what they need out of it, because I'm good internally these days. I'm good.
That makes sense. So what do you do? What is your profession?
Yes.
Your primary profession.
Primary profession as of today.
Oh, man.
What's the date today? No. My profession and forevermore, some way, shape, or form, will probably always be in real estate. But I am a residential luxury real estate advisor, is what I am today. And that is my primary focus.
So you said luxury.
Yeah.
Say that again.
Yeah, luxury residential advisor.
Okay.
A lot different than when I came in before. I was in a different space, but you know.
That's a big title.
They got to check out part 1 to see the progression. Of
no, that's big
when I
progression,
came through,
man.
yeah.
I remember something that stood out when I first talked to you. You said you never say real estate broker.
Yeah.
Because you don't like anything broke.
I don't like to be broke. I don't like the word broke. I don't want that attached to my name.
Yeah. So the luxury.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about that, because you know people see Delroy online and the big houses, the big properties. You know what I mean? The big money, the big money properties, man. How'd you get to that level of real estate?
It's time. Time is number one. Meaning, like, you just gotta go through the motions, learn, get experience under your belt. And then more than anything, though, it's the focus. Meaning, like, you have to completely, like, immerse yourself in it, right? Wherever you want, whether it be podcasting, like right now. If you can't just, like, podcast, well, you can. I just don't think it's the fastest way to success. Meaning, like, you could just podcast in your bedroom, right? But, like, you have to be able to progress and keep people around you that are doing what you're trying to do.
Right.
And have the information, learn the knowledge, learn the skill set, learn the data, all of the analytics that go through what you're doing. So I just had a lot of focus. At that point, when I last did your podcast, prior to that, though, I wasn't in luxury, and I was selling $30,000 and $50,000 condos in, you know, Colorado back in the day.
Right.
Went through the recession, and then decided, you know, as things were changing in the real estate market, in terms of like discount brokers. I'm gonna call them that. But nah, the brokers that are deciding that their value proposition for their client is I'm the cheapest guy. I'm trying to offer the most value.
Right.
And to me, the people that understood that value at the early stages were going to be the people in the luxury space.
For sure.
So that's who I started to attract by putting that messaging out there.
Got it. I like it. So let's rewind a little bit. Real estate aside,
Yep.
I think you just have an interesting story.
Okay.
You said the word focus a lot, and I think a lot of your story has been focus. Let's take it back. Young Delroy.
Yeah.
Let's talk about your history and your upbringing a little bit.
Man, this could be the whole podcast in itself. But upbringing, obviously, I'm born and raised in London. Not obviously, if you don't, well, I got an accent, so yeah, maybe. But growing up in London, you know, it's debatable whether you think London has hoods or it doesn't have hoods, whatever, in areas that were not highly surrounded by money. Okay,
Yeah, for sure.
Put it that way. And then just went through the regular trials and tribulations of school, bad influences around, people around, not doing the right thing. So I always treaded a fine line at that time of like, 1 foot in, 1 foot out of whatever it was that I was in, because I had a bigger picture, but just didn't know or have the opportunities to exercise it.
Right.
And then I was always into like making money and entrepreneurial stuff, whether it be selling mixtape CDs. I did that before. I cut hair. I was a barber before. I did everything.
Yeah.
I did I sold watches, anything I could do, flip sneakers, all of it and the above back in the day. And then my parents moved, my mom and my stepdad moved to America.
Okay.
And took me along. That was when I was like 17, 18-ish. It was final year of high school. Came to America and went to school for a year. I could have, with what I had from London, I didn't finish school, but they gave me like whatever my final paperwork is. Like, this is where you're at.
Right.
I didn't get to do like the final testing or whatever. So I just took that. They said I was like good to go to college or high school based on whatever it was. So I decided I'm going to take the easy route, honestly, and just go back to high school instead of going to college, because I'm like, those people to me at that age were older. Like, you go to university. I was 17, 18. I'm like, they're like 20. They're old.
Yeah.
So I went back to high school, had a good time, had some fun. Didn't really have any focus or worried about business or work or anything. And then when I left high school, I got introduced to another guy from England who had a real estate marketing company. And he was looking for a sales guy, and he basically took me under his wing, and he just showed me like the vocabulary you need to, like, he was big corporate guy. Right. I'm basically a street guy.
Right.
So I don't know how to talk to all these people in a way that's going to make them exchange money with me.
For sure.
So he just taught me all like the small nuances and ways to communicate with people so that you can turn a conversation into trust, and trust into we're doing business together.
Got it.
So he helped me develop those skills. I thought I would just do that for a couple of years and then get into real estate. Everything was just going so well that I ended up doing that for like 7 years. So when I was like 19 to like 23, like I was just making boatloads of money, boatloads in quotes. For that time, me being 19, I was working from home back then.
So that was good money.
That was good money.
Yeah,
like to me, I was feeling good about it.
Yeah.
It was so funny. I saw my 1099 form the other day. I was doing some work in my house. I picked up my first year with that company. I made $24,000, and I thought, now looking back at that, I was like, damn, I wasn't making any money. I was broke. But at the time, you know, it got me through. It got me to where I needed. But the best thing is I got the mindset and the skill set from it to be able to implement that. And what he always taught me was like, when you learn these processes, they're for any business. Like he's like, after, if you want to go and sell cereal, you want to sell cars, houses, shoes, sell your podcast. Like everything is normally always to do with sales anyway.
Right.
Sell, your vision of your podcast to get guests on it, whatever it is. The same skills will apply no matter what.
It's just transferable tools.
Absolutely.
Man.
Yeah. So when I was working with him, that's really the point, I would say, of focus that like it clicked in because of how he was explaining it to me.
Got it. That makes sense.
And it helped me use my personal skill set that I knew was good within me and how I could apply it to this role that he was offering.
Right.
So I was like, oh, I can just do what I like and actually survive and make money doing it. And that's what happened.
That makes sense. So entrepreneur, hustler, you get to it, man. What do you think really gives you that drive or that spirit? That all has to come from somewhere. Like, nah, I gotta be the best me.
Yeah. I mean, it's at different times in life, it's different things. So, I mean, in the early days, I've told this story many of times, but like, my stepdad one time played this joke on me, and I wasn't good in school. I was terrible. I just, not that I wasn't smart, I just didn't have any passion, drive for it. I don't like the way they teach and learning.
Right.
So when I was in class, like I could get stuff done if I wanted to, but like it just didn't have a high interest. So anyway, he was like, "Oh yeah, I'll pay you £100 if you can get like A's in this class or whatever." And I was like, "Oh yeah, all right." Like for money, I'm gonna get it done.
Yeah.
So I went through, got the grades, came back, passed the test, gave him the test, and then he was like, "All right." And then he went and he got £100 of Monopoly money, and he gave it to me.
Played you.
And then he said, "Yeah, that's what you're supposed to do in life, is get good grades." But like I only did it in exchange for our agreement, and that was like probably my first chip on my shoulder that no one is gonna play me, make me do something for money and then not pay me my money. So that gave me an independent like chip on like, I'm never gonna like, you're not gonna ask me to do something and not pay me for it.
Right.
So that was like my drive. I'm just gonna get my own money now. I don't even want to ask you for money anymore. I stopped asking for money when I was a teenager. Like I never wanted to ask my parents for money for anything after that happened. So that was the initial part. So, and there's just more of those, like the original drive is just chips on your shoulder.
Right.
I'm mad about this. I need to prove that person wrong. They think of me like this, I'm going to show them.
Right.
Like those are the initial chips. And then after a while, you get through all of that. And then you're somewhat successful. And like people are starting to congratulate you. And you still need to have the drive, right? So now you have to switch it. And actually, you have to dig from within as to like, now, why are you doing this now? Like, now why are you working hard? Now why are you waking up every morning? Because when you're an entrepreneur, you don't have no schedule, boss telling you, it's all on you.
Yeah.
You gotta wake yourself up every single day. So after that, I had to start digging for what my personal why is, and then I had kids, so I had to do with like my kids, my family's legacy, what am I building for them? If, God forbid something happens to me today, like, do I have something that they can stand on? Are they good? Is there, like, one of the things in the back of my mind was like, there should never be no GoFund page for Delroy.
Facts.
Like, never.
Absolutely.
Never in life should you see my family need from outside of me, whether I'm here or not here.
Right.
So that became my driving force. And now, like that's all set up and all that foundation's laid. Now it's about like, it's moved from like legacy to like empire. Like my legacy is done. I'm done focusing on that. Like it's whatever I've left now is what it is. Now we actually have to build an empire from within my household of like I'm focused on me and my family now. I'm not focused on legacy, I'm focused on empire.
That's interesting. So that's a good segue. I was going to ask you about legacy and just, being a father and building that generational wealth. I like how you put that. Let's talk about that a little bit more. So empire versus legacy. I think that's the first time I've ever heard it positioned like that. And so you say you feel your legacy is established.
Yep.
Like what Delroy is set in stone.
It's here. It's done.
So the empire, how do you go about building that empire?
Yeah. Now that piece of it is like, because some people tie it all together, and some people will have like money goals and stuff like that, and like I would encourage people to stop. Obviously, you have to make money, and income is important, but like start focusing on your net worth and not your income, because then you start to really see what your finances look like.
Right.
And when you do that, it becomes a different ball game. I only actually started doing that more recently, right? And then like you start seeing different numbers on the paper versus your income. Like I have a net worth now of an X amount of dollars, right?
Right.
And I know, oh, within that X worth, that means, oh, I'm here, so my kids, and oh, I'm actually good here. Like that's done. Like they're set now.
Yeah.
So that to me started thinking like, what's the new purpose? Now it's about like, okay, if my son wants to, like, I have a conversation with it now. Like he says he wants to start a clothing brand or something. Like the empire becomes like me now being able to play the position of venture capital fund within my own house. So I can fund my son's career.
Yeah, and
I can
in-house
actually
funding.
give him in-house funding, right? These are the things we would like scarf out, or people think like silver spooning, but it's really what like we're all working towards, right? Helping the next generation, your kids or your cousins or your mom or whoever it is changing literally the direction for the future of what can be. Because then if my son is now in position, he can hire more people, he can hire his friends or his circle of people, which is what's happened prior, and we weren't really in the rooms and in the mix before like that to be able to do these things. So those are the things, like building an empire. It's like, now what does my wife want to do, what does my son want to do, what do all of you guys want to do now that we have the tools, the connections, the funding, everything we now need. Like, let's focus on that, because now when you build the empire and we already have a runway of some sort of legacy established already, the empire now it will continue the legacy. The legacy will continue through the empire. So some people have a legacy, and then when they pass, the legacy ends with that person. They have one, it's great, and they did a lot,
but it stops there.
Like, what continues after that, and what does that look like? And to me, that's what the empire is.
Got it. I love that, because like what Kanye say, for my kids,
all the way down,
because they get that, and then they can build. I always had, you said it, the silver spoon. I always had a problem with that saying, because it's looked at in a negative way.
Correct.
When really that's what should happen. I definitely believe that wealth should be passed down, not necessarily up. And we in our culture, it's always, I want to buy my mama a house and all that, because of their generation, they weren't able to do
because they're
that.
fixing the broken system.
Yeah, we're fixing the broken system. So now we need to focus on trickling that down. Where it's, I have properties in place for my children, but how can they build on that to have properties in place for their children
themselves?
So I love
exactly.
That's
and just
the
teaching
empire.
them, and like the way the silver spoon is, I think actually the negative connotation that it comes from is the behavior of the people that are receiving the silver spoon. Meaning, like, if they are assholes and like not appreciative and that becomes like the negative silver spoon in it. Like the guy who takes what I give him and runs with it, like my son, if he builds it up and he's like super appreciative, he's now giving back, he's making stuff happen from it. Now it's a great, stamp in the earth.
That's the way to do it, man. My daughter, she's 10, but she keeps saying, like, I don't want to. She's dominant about not working for anybody. She got this whole vision about. Good. She got this vision. She's like, I just want to be like the lady in the suit that tells everybody what to do. So I'm explaining to her what that is. And so her and my sister want to start a business, and so the way I made them do it, because I do creative consulting and marketing, I really treated them like clients. Like, look, this is what you would have to do if I weren't your dad or your brother. You got to do that. And I think teaching your kids and, your family or peers, whatever, that versus just handing it to them.
Right.
That's kind of the positive silver
my
spoon.
boot camp, my kids know. I tell my 5-year-old, I ain't going easy on you. No one.
Yeah.
You ain't going light on no one. If my kids want to challenge me to a tennis game, I'm whooping. I'm not.
You dunking on them kids.
I'm dunking on them kids. That's me. I'm no soft gloves nowhere.
Yeah.
And I like my son. This year, he'll do an internship at my company for the summer and get.
Right.
Like again, same. No, he's not getting no special treatment.
That's how it should be, man.
From the ground up and work his way up.
That's how it should be. Let me ask you this. So, we might see you on IG or whatever. We see the money green suit. We see all that. We're like, oh man, Delroy's doing it. What are some of the behind the scene challenges, for one, that you face in your industry, and then just that you face as Delroy, as a black man?
Yeah. It's these types of things. Don't get me wrong. That not that there aren't any. There's a lot. I don't focus on them though. I rarely focus on like the challenge. I focus on like solutions.
Got it.
That's all I'm focused on. Like my brain, I only have a certain amount of space and capacity I can hold. So like for me, it's like there's problems. Like we can focus on the problem and talk about the problem, but like I'd rather take out my brain power and focus on the solution.
Absolutely.
So like there was definitely like times when I was getting into the business where I thought people don't, they don't understand my value proposition I'm offering. They don't understand my experience that I have, or agents were trying to hide information from me. Or reporting me for just silly things. And I'm just like, cool, man. It comes with the territory. Like, I just let it roll off my back and then just keep pushing. Because I know, like, I just believe in manifestation a lot. And I was just going through this with my business coach. But, like, when I manifest in my mind and, like, visualize, like, it becomes fact for me. Like, it literally becomes, like, once I sit down, I meditate, and I really think about it. Like I can think about something right now, and I will feel like I'm in that place, like I'm there.
I can relate. Yeah.
And like once I'm there, it doesn't matter what you do to me. I am going to be there. Like there's nothing you can do to stop me from getting to that point. And so it's just not really high. There's been challenges and things. I just laugh them off, man. Laugh them off.
Solution based. What's the solution?
Yes, always focused on the solutions, not the problems.
Got it. So let me ask you this last question. Second to last question. What's next for Delroy Gill?
What's next for me is I am going to build. This is good. I'm saying it in public so I can manifest it.
Yeah, now it has to happen.
Just came back from my business planning, so now it's real. We have what was called BHAGs. I never heard of this. Big hairy goals, big ass goal, whatever you want to call it.
I just went through that same thing today.
But
BHAGs.
But so I didn't honestly have one. I had a vision board and goals, but my next for me is I'm gonna open an arm of real estate development with my team. So I'm gonna build some luxury houses myself. Which I've never done before. Another leg of our business is going to be an investment leg where we're going to be purchasing multifamily units. I'm going to write a book. I am going to become the top real estate speaker in the country, and I will absolutely dominate the luxury real estate space.
Love it. I love how you said, I am. Like, I'm not trying to. It's not that I want to. I am. And I see that for you, man. So this is the last question for sure. If you can go back to that young Delroy, that young sneaker mixtape hustler Delroy, and give him a piece of advice, what would that be?
Man, it would probably be... Ooh, these you made me think here. It will probably be trust your gut. Like there's a lot, because it's just so many things happened to the young Delroy, and there was a lot of doubt in a lot of but I knew I could have got here a lot quicker if I just trusted my gut and my instincts.
I like that.
Yeah, trust your gut.
Trust your gut. How can people find you? How can they follow you? How can they hit you for business?
IG is the easiest and quickest way. Delroy Gill, my first and last name on Instagram. Follow me. That's the best way.
Hit him on IG.
Yeah, hit me on IG.
My guy Delroy. Hey, we did it, man.
Hey, we did it. Round 2.
We're gonna continue the conversation off
Definitely.
the mic, but I appreciate you, brother.
Hey, let me just quickly give
What's up?
Graffiti his flowers.
Uh-oh.
Because from the first podcast, this was many of moons ago, and it's the same thing like me. My history is documented online. Everyone in Denver, since I've come here way back, you can see it. What I love about Graffiti is it's all online too. You can see where he started from, all the things he's manifested and created. I came into this dark room before in the back of some store. I don't even remember.
It was a trap house,
Five
man.
Points or somewhere. And we recorded a podcast. There was a lot of drinks on the table, and it was a good time. But I've always seen what his vision has been bigger than what that was. And we always have a lot of offline convos about this. I be putting them under pressure.
Pressure, boy. Pressure, man.
I be giving him deadlines and pressure because I want to see my people win.
That's love, man.
So congratulations, sir.
Man, I appreciate that, especially coming from you. You definitely are a mentor, and that pressure be real. so I hope I'm living up to it, man. But I appreciate that, brother. Cool.
Thank you.
It's the Connect Graffiti. I'm out. Connect Graffiti. This podcast is powered by The Plug.